Hello. So I feel it's necessary to get ahead, even though in a way this all seems rather rushed. Um, so again, a reading from my book. Um, this time, the first of two essays on speciesism and how to change the situation of speciesism in our world. The first essay is entitled "Shifting Speciesism." Um, I could probably read like this and the like. So, okay. Speciesism. It is the final discriminatory human behaviour which humans need to overcome. Speciesism is human discrimination against the indigenous inhabitants of this planet, namely the animal beings, and I would add the plants and the earth herself. The discrimination has caused and is causing nothing less than a holocaust of atrocious cruelties to the animal species. It is also the cause of the degradation and destruction of our earthly environment. Humans discriminate against all other animal species in favour of the human species. This originates presumably from either or both of two human survival mechanisms in the past. The first mechanism is where humans discovered that they need use up a lot less energy in killing other animal species for food and other uses, rather than the energies needed to grow and process plants for those uses. Effectively, this first mechanism is that humans decided to be lazy, selfish, and cruel rather than compassionate. Now, millennia later, we have evolved supposedly to know better, with all the abilities and capacities required to produce everything we need, without making that terrible compromise, condemning all other animal species to the many sufferings they endure at the hands of we humans. So, why are we still speciesist? It is because of the second human survival mechanism. These are the established belief systems of religions and cultures, weighing heavily against the compassionate way forward. These systems were set up by humans in the past to bring some law and order to a chaotic existence. However, humans have become far too entrenched in these belief systems. Though we are able to change our ways, we are still not willing. True, there is a shift of consciousness happening, with vegan becoming a mainstream concept at last, and many strong, successful animal rights movements gaining some ground in the battle for the animal beings and their welfare. However, change needs to accelerate before we completely destroy all life and hope on this planet. So, what is holding us up? Why are we not willing to become the compassionate species that we are really able to be? I can only quote one religion, which is the so-called Christian Church of England. The Bible says that the Christian God gave dominion over the animals and all the land and oceans. This has basically given humans carte blanche to ravage the earth, the animal beings, and the plants, inflicting every manner of barbarism upon these precious existences, with no thought as to any consequences. Humans have believed it to be their God-given right to behave in this appalling way, ever since those destructive words were spoken. With the development and growth of civilizations in these recent centuries, humans have got to the point of completely relying on their use and abuse of other animal species, not only because of traditions, routines, and tastes, but more importantly, because of the wealth they have been making from the Holocaust against the other animal species. In fact, the human species has had the wealth, the progress, and the civilizations purely thanks to the terrible sacrifice of those trillions of animal beings. We have our houses, our machines, our health, our knowledge, only because of the sufferings of the animal beings, particularly of the farmed animals. The Bible also says, thou shalt not kill. It does not say thou shalt not kill humans, but thou mayst kill all animals, use and abuse them, torture and murder them for your own benefit, no matter how atrocious their suffering. The commandment does not differentiate between animal and human species. No, the commandment commands not to kill, full stop. It does not discriminate species. It means not kill generally. I believe this means also not plunder the earth and her plants. It seems to me that probably all religions do hold a similar value. It is time we all took heed. It is of paramount importance to the survival of this planet and of all species that we all change our attitudes to this world of life. We need to see all forms of life as deserving of respect and care. We need to place true compassion at the center of all our values. Without this attitude, particularly to the other animals, our monstrous behaviors towards them will continue to wreak terrible world destruction. The physical destruction is clear enough to us in today's world. The destruction of our inner worlds is far less obvious, but is far more pernicious. It is recognized by science and theology that these two spheres of knowledge are in fact inextricably linked, the physical and the spiritual. In this way, thus, the barbarism of one individual through total interconnectedness affects all at both the physical level and the spiritual level. Our barbaric behaviors are polluting, poisoning, crippling, dismembering, torturing, murdering our own souls and spirits, whether we are aware of this or not. These barbaric behaviors affect our inner selves, our psyches, our feelings, instincts, intuitions, emotions, connections, relationships, and certainly our morals. It matters not whether we are personally and directly behaving with barbarism. Our existence is, as science tells us, totally interconnected at a molecular, atomic level. The actions of one affect all. We are, every one of us who is able, responsible for the well-being of the animals and the earth. Let us realize that we are no longer needing to adhere to the old survival mechanisms, now that we have evolved into this technological world. We have other compassionate means by which to not only survive, but to live in comfort and joy, all of us, all species, all life, and Mother Earth too. That's the end of that essay, and I'll finish there and immediately read the second essay, Eliminating Speciesism. Won't be a moment.